time for another Workout Wednesday, and we're here with Jill Nola from the BAC for Women. And you might be curious as to why we're sitting down on the ground if it's a 3-minute workout. That is because we are talking about body weight exercises, and we're doing everything on the ground. That's right, Jill.
Absolutely. We're going to stay down here today.
All right, so why don't we pull up that stopwatch and we can get started with that first exercise.
Okay. All right, let's start. We'll get into a tabletop position. We're going to start with our lower body.
Okay.
Make sure your wrists are under your shoulders. We're going to start with just a glute lift. So we're going to extend our leg, flex or point the toe, and just lift, and then bring it down, a little tap to the floor, back up. Make sure you're squeezing as you're lifting. So you're basically using your leg as the weight. That's the resistance.
So what makes body weight exercises so good to do at home?
Well, because A, you don't need any equipment, and you're kind of set up for success with these because you're going to work with what feels good for you.
You're never going to overextend because really you're not adding weight, you're just using your own.
You're just using your own body, right, exactly.
All right, so if we're doing this glute lift, it seems a little bit easy. We want to maybe make it a little bit harder. What's the next step?
Next step would be to add a little bit of balance in. So we're going to bring our opposite arm up.
Okay.
We're going to hold that. We can stick with a straight leg lift, or we can do a pull. That's going to make it a little more challenging. Knee in, extend, again, squeezing the glute. Pull in so your core is tight. That's your balance.
And then would we change sides and work on the other one?
Yep, exactly. Same thing on the other side.
Okay, so let's do that.
Okay, so we'll extend. We'll start with a straight lift.
Okay, so what does squeezing in your muscles do for you when you're doing these exercises?
That's the work. The squeeze, that's the contraction of the muscle, and that's kind of what builds.
All right, we're just under 2 minutes on the clock, so why don't we move to the next exercise?
Okay, all right. While we're down here, we'll do some push-ups for the upper body. So you can modify on the knees if you'd like, with a nice long back, or to the toes, so whatever feels good.
I think I'll go up to the toes today.
Whoa.
Now, same thing, should we be sort of squeezing everything, pulling everything in?
Exactly, everything should be tight. You're finding what feels good on a range of motion. Bring it down as low as you want. To make it a little more challenging, you can change your grip. So you can bring your hands in a little closer together, and then release down. Might not come down as low, but you're going to start using a little bit more tricep, get some of the secondary muscles involved. But again, it's your own body weight, so you're going to find what feels good. You find a range of motion that works for you.
Now, when you start looking at other free weight exercises, you see people doing push-ups on the wall, upside down. Are these all taking to the next step?
Exactly, the next level, or modifying a bit for what works for them.
All right, so we got 1 more minute on the clock. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, all right, let's turn it into a plank. So we'll start with just a basic straight arm plank. So we'll come up onto the toes and hold. Again, engaging the core. So you're getting a little upper body, you're getting some core. Now to make this a little more challenging, you can actually walk your hands out a little farther. That's going to make it a little more challenging on the core and the shoulders.
And planks are really deceptively challenging. It doesn't look like we're working hard, but this is the hardest thing we've done so far.
Exactly, exactly. And this replaces a whole lot of sit-ups. So you can do this for 30 seconds or 40 seconds, or you can do 100 sit-ups.
And then if you want to make this a little bit easier, if we're just starting out, how can we do that?
Again, coming down to the knees. Lift the toes up, and then take a little bit wider grip. The wider your grip or your stance, anything like that, it makes it a little easier.
And then for people that want a little bit help developing maybe their own free weight workout, do you do any classes on this at the BAC?
Yeah, a Pilates class is basically this. It's basically all free body weight type exercises, most of them done on the floor.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jill.
Thanks, Matt.
As always, challenging me, and we didn't even stand up this entire segment, but right now we're gonna send it back over to you.